And it's nationwide. Welcome to the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Ogochukwu Ona. Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission, Bishop Stephen Adegbite, says Christian leaders are working closely with their Muslim counterparts under the Nigeria Inter-Religious Council in fostering peace and mutual understanding among Nigerians. Bishop Adegbite was reacting to the recent remark by the U.S. President Donald Trump that Christian persecution is taking place in Nigeria and that the United States may take military action. He notes that both faiths have been victims of insurgency in the past years.
Ethnic democracy with more than 220 million citizens and over 250 ethnic nationalities. It is home to Africa's largest Christian and Muslim population living side by side. Any reckless military action or misinformed intervention from abroad could destabilize the entire West Africa sub-region, triggering refugee crisis, collapse, and extremist resurgence. Nigeria's sheer population size and its ingenuity means that instability here will ripple far beyond our borders, undermining peace, trade, and democracy across Africa. What we need is strategic cooperation, not coercion.
And elsewhere, the Committee of Experts of the African Union Peace and Security is meeting in Abuja to discuss threats to the continent's security. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the meeting, at the instance of the Office of the National Security Advisor, is preparatory to AU's Peace and Security Council.
A committee of experts of the African Union Peace and Security Council meeting in Abuja. The goal, to review threats to security on the continent and advise the peace and security.
These challenges demand a renewed collective commitment of this critical committee. Your role to guide and advise on African-led responses is strategic and needed and adapted to local realities.
Terrorism, armed conflicts, transnational crime, political instability and military coups remain threats to security on the continent.
The government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is mainly committed to the war on terrorism and to advancing the cause of peace and security on the African continent. This commitment was further demonstrated during the high-level African Counterterrorism Summit in April 2024.
The meeting is expected to shape the decisions of the Peace and Security Council. The center here in Abuja, Ismail Musa, Nta News.
Thank you, Ismail. Now, concerned party loyalists under the banner of PDP Patriots have reaffirmed their unwavering support for Ambassador Ilia Damagun-led National Working Committee, condemning the recent wave of defections by some elected officials as detrimental to party growth. The group, at a media briefing in Abuja, appealed to PDP Board of Trustees, which is the conscience of the party, to urgently resolve the crisis in the party. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Statement by the PDP.
The gale of suspensions in the PDP is the major agenda here. PDP patriots believe that the development is to party.
We, the PDP patriots, hereby affirm our total support and loyalty to the People's Democratic Party as espoused by the PDP founding fathers on the pedestal of peace, inclusivity, fairness, justice.
The group cautioned defectors against maligning the PDP, saying their departures were driven by personal ambition rather than internal party crises. They congratulated grassroots members for their loyalty, noting that the base remains strong and committed. Timothy Yusuf, Nta.
President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja for Brazil to represent President Bola Tinubu at the 30th session of the Nta Nationwide Climate Change Conference, tagged COP30, scheduled to hold in the South American country. The summit, convened by Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, in collaboration with other partners, will hold 6th to 7th November in the city of Belém, of the state of in the Amazon. Vice President Shettima is billed to join other world leaders, development partners, and business executives at the event themed Climate Action and Implementation, with a strong focus on forests, biodiversity, and climate justice. On the first day of engagement, Vice President Shettima will attend the general plenary of leaders he expected Nigeria's climate action address. He will also take part in the launch of the Tropical Forest Forever Fund and participate in a roundtable chaired by President Lula on climate and nature before attending an Amazonian cocktail for heads of the nation hosted by the President of Brazil. On the second day of the summit, Vice President Shettima will participate in 2 roundtables chaired by President as well as the review of the Paris Agreement with a focus on nationally determined contributions and financing. At the conclusion of his engagements, the Nigerian Vice President, in company of Nigerian government officials, will proceed to the city of Brasilia for a reciprocal visit to his Brazilian counterpart, Vice President Geraldo Alckmin, who had embarked on a historic 3-day visit to Nigeria earlier in June to further deepen Nigeria's South-South diplomatic ties. The Vice President is expected back in Nigeria at the end of his engagements in Brazil. Right, our next set of reports will be coming from Lagos as we link up with Adeola. Hello.
Of year travels, the Federal Road Safety Corps is scaling up measures to curb road crashes and reckless driving. Of 2025 Ember Month campaigns, the emphasis personal responsibility and sober driving as key to saving lives this festive period. Awal Yusuf Jibo reports.
The annual Don't Drink and Drive campaign, themed Take Responsibility for Your Safety, Stop Distracted Driving, is aimed at reducing crashes and promoting responsible motoring habits.
The theme reinforces the view that human factor is one of the major causes of road traffic. It also draws attention to the fact that drivers are largely responsible for crashes on our highways.
According to the Corps, between the first and third quarters 2025, over 1,300 vehicles were, while 3,448 motorists were apprehended for driving without valid licenses.
The record also shows that major causes of those crashes were driver overloading of persons, conveyance of persons in stolen vehicles, and
within the same period, 298 road traffics were recorded. The Corps says it has achieved a 15.17% reduction in road crashes in Lagos State alone, exceeding its national target of 10%.
As the season gets busier, remember, slowing down, staying sober, and staying focused could be the difference between getting there and never arriving. In Lagos, Awal Yusuf Jibo, Nta News.
Apart from existing laws on freedom of opinion and access to information, an act coded in the Constitution that guarantees protection of journalists has been advocated by members of the Fourth Estate of the realm to mitigate the increasing attacks on journalists while on duty. Larry Belei will tell us more.
Statistics from International Press Center, IPC, Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, CJID, and Media Rights Agenda show that in 2024, 69 attacks on journalists were recorded between January and October. Sadly, the data revealed that most of the attacks came from those saddled with the responsibility of protecting the people, that is, security agents. They are responsible for 5% cases of the attacks.
Even some members of the public, who the work that we are doing will benefit, they attack journalists. We have had instances when towns, they attack journalists maybe at parades or some and people need to appreciate that the job is an important job and they should not do anything that will dissuade them from holding the government accountable when they need to do.
Stakeholders are worried there is no specific law that creates a distinct category of crimes against journalists with enhanced penalties or specialized investigative prosecutorial framework. In fact, existing laws are often used to restrict press freedom.
Such legislation
increased information on internet, adding that the ethos of journalism must come to play more than before. In Lagos, Belai, Nta News.
And those are stories from Lagos. We'll go this time out.
Part of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodimma's leadership has turned manifestos into reality, transformations that feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace, and in Imo is not left to chance. From land to sky, guardian watching, protecting dreams and opportunity. At Orashi's quiet shore, hydro power rising to energy growing economy. The change is visible. New emerge, street home, communities come alive. At the center, a digital revolution. 500,000 young minds trained to the future. As Orashi rises, so does Imo and the hopes of a hard-working people. A new Imo is on the rise.
Oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Change no thanks. Resolve family feuds without a whistle. Tasty the meals is all that matters. Where there are moms, there is love. Golden Terra Oil, pour pure love.
Experts deliberate on Nigeria's exit from the Financial Action Task Force, impact on global image and economy, believed to be a huge win for Nigeria by President Tinubu's administration. Nta Tuesday Live comes up tonight, 4th November 2020 at 10:30 p.m. Tune in to know how this development will boost investor confidence, increase capital, global standing, and enhance financial stability. Nta Tuesday Live, educative and incisive. Miss it.
You have no better friend and partner than Nigeria. Let this unveiling today be a call to conscience. Let our practitioners line of to the media, please, with integrity and with a deep sense of them. To our public officers, with transparency. To citizens, speak party. Let us come together to become the voice of responsibility, the voice of the world that heals division, that inspires hope and drives development.
President Bola Tinubu is calling for calm among Nigerians, assuring them that his government is taking concrete steps towards ensuring better security of lives and properties of all citizens and residents in the country. The president conveyed this message through the Minister and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nonuga, who just met with him in the House on military action in Nigeria came up. The minister assured all that the government is already ahead with steps to record greater results in the fight against insurgency.
Only last week or 2 weeks ago, Mr. President, in his own desire to rekindle the security architecture of the country, reinvigorated the hierarchy of the armed forces. A new chief of defense staff and other service chiefs were appointed. Now, the issue that of the United States. So, that has all Nigerians to live in. We're looking at all the issues, and we don't want to overheat discussions, but work is ongoing, and of communication, so that the international community will understand what Nigeria has been doing, and also what we intend to further do to ensure that whatever concerns there are, either domestically here or from the international community, are answered.
All right, Honorable Minister, you said some have been taken, going by what you have just said. Nigerians have been suggesting so many things, including having a dialogue with the religious bodies and all of that, diplomatic means. What precisely is the government doing in this regard?
Well, it's a multiple approach. You know that actions with the leadership of the religious meeting with them, and of course he will continue to do that. Their own stakeholder in the Nigerian people. Yes, Mr. President will continue to engage with them. Mr. President will continue to engage with his national community, not just everyone, the regional bodies, the continental bodies, and everyone that we think has a role in ensuring that Nigeria succeeds this narrative, so that Nigeria will have a very bad name. And we know that this is not who we are as a country. So for us to be characterized as a country that is not tolerant when it comes to religion is not accurate. Absolutely false. Nigeria has Muslim and Christian, and even those who do not believe of this religion. And our constitution guarantees that everyone should practice his faith. And Mr. President is going to respect that to the letter. So again, yes, we have these security challenges, but nowhere has there been any decision to favor one religion or the other, or to inflict violence over one. What has happened, we have this extremely narrative. For them, is that this country is divided, and we want Nigeria to. This is a time for us to reflect on our nation, or to reflect on our unity. To come. This is not the time for division. It's not a time for rhetoric. It's not a time for politics. It is for nation building. The time for calling for everyone to come together, so that we have Nigeria.
Yes, it's time to come together. Information and National Orientation Minister there. So having stories from Jos, and how is the Mary talk.
And welcome to Jos Studio. Plateau State government is reaffirming its commitment to collaborating the World Health Organization and other partners in ensuring a polio-free state. Commissioner for Health Dr. Nicholas Bamlong gave this indication while marking the 2025 World Polio Day in Kabanke local area of Plateau State. Ndayang and Debagang has the details.
The World Polio Day was marked at Kabri in Kanke local government with the of vaccination at the primary healthcare center. As a journalist, the commissioner said commemorating the 2025 Polio Day not only in eradicating the virus, but also to renew the commitment of all free states. He lauded the effort of World Health Organization and other partners for their continuous support to the state in ensuring that Plateau remains polio-free, adding that government will continue to prioritize child health and routine immunization programs.
We are calling on our health workers to remain diligent in identifying zero-dose children and strengthening. We are equally calling on community and religious leaders to continue mobilizing support and countering any misinformation that may arise.
The advocacy team, accompanied by development partners, were in Kanke local government area where they discussed strategies to strengthening community participation in immunization program. This year's theme is End Polio, Every Child, Every Vaccine, Everywhere. Nta and the Abajang, Nta News.
The state government says it has taken steps to address water challenges in Jos Metropolis. This was while signing a memorandum of understanding for the rehabilitation of Lamingo and Yakubu Gowon water treatment plants worth more than 13 billion naira. Again, Nta and the Abajang has the details.
Water is one of the basic needs of man. As such, Plateau possible to provide water for the people. In the MOU with a reputable firm, Governor Kelly, represented, assured that government will ensure smooth execution of the project.
So much good to be done in the water sector because water is a very critical sector. So education is another one. So these are areas that the government is trying to do.
Firm appreciated the state government for finding it worthy Amingo and Gowon treatment plants, assuring the government of early completion.
We have very rich experience in water section, and we are very confident that we can deliver a good job.
The Commissioner for Water Resources, Bashir Lawandi, thanked Governor Kelly. Project of the company says the processes for the education of the project will be duly followed.
At the end of this project, that will last not less than 12 months, water as a commodity will be available in order to be supplied to households.
The project is expected to be delivered to government in December 2026 in Jos, Nta and the Abajang, Nta News.
And that's our contribution from this end. Ogochukuka is still standing by in our Abuja studio for the continuation of Nationwide. Good evening.
Good evening, Mary. Thank you for your contributions. And back here, Nigeria's National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, is taking bold steps to proactively connect Africa to the rest of the world through its transformative Project Fit for the Future initiative. Group Chief Executive Officer Bashir Bayo Ojulari spoke on ongoing measures towards strengthening Nigeria and NNPC Limited's position in global energy markets at ADIPEC 2025. Lydia Sampson reports.
Nigeria stands at the African future, with NNPC Limited playing a pivotal role in shaping it as the company evolves from a state corporation into a commercially driven energy leader. It is ensuring Nigeria's role as a reliable global. For Bashir Bayo Ojulari, the company's vision centers on innovation, clean energy and regional collaboration, as well as driving a new era of across the African energy landscape.
Nigerians has only reached about. Why is that? I think it's about technology and it's about deeper investment. We had living fruits onshore, so all the IOCs that came in focused on the onshore initially and also the shallow water, and then went as far as 1,000 meters. So what I'll say is that Nigeria still has a huge potential in deep water.
With ongoing infrastructure upgrades and digital modernization, NNPC Limited is positioning itself as a catalyst for intra-African trade and global energy partnerships.
The second is about monetizing our huge gas resource, which again we talked about. And then we're looking at our downstream business, where we're trying to improve on our refinery, deepen our connections on our marketing and trading arm, and also a lot to do with our shipping as well. So we're reopening all of these, and so everyone is quite excited.
Its digital transformation, its proactive role underscores a bold vision for Africa's energy future, resilient, integrated, and globally connected.
Thank you, Lydia. Now, living with this is players building, yet they often physical light or barrier during in the forthcoming governorship election in Anambra State. What preparations has INEC put in place to ensure a seamless voting process for this set of electorates? And now over to Onome Okadigbo in Oka there to tell us in what ways INEC is ensuring seamless voting for persons with disabilities. Hello, Onome.
Living with disabilities, fine people have been disenfranchised in the electoral process here. So a visit to INEC, we saw that INEC has put in place for these persons so that they can have an inclusive election. So they have distributed assistive tools for persons with albinism, those that have impairment, then those that are with impairment, they have people that will give them the language. So they have spread all these tools across the 21 local government area of Anambra State. Then NGOs and civil societies have been having series of training, town hall meetings to sensitize key election stakeholders on the need to ensure that persons with disabilities participate fully in this Anambra election as the act of 22 as section 54 subsection 1 and 2, where INEC is mandated to give people assistive tools for the election, and they also made provisions for persons to assist them, especially those with visual impairments, to able to emphasize exercise their civic rights. And the visit to some security agencies here, the NSCDC and police, they have also prepared the officers and men of their command to ensure that these persons have inclusive election in this Anambra governorship election.
Thank you very much, Onome, and Saturday's incisive contribution. Now, the Federal High Court has again on the terror trial against the Kanu to the 5th of November 2025 for the defendant to enter his defense. Judiciary correspondent Austin Anyebe reports that this was after the defendant declined to enter his defense, claiming that there is no charge against him under the Nigerian law.
At the resumed trial on Tuesday, the defendant, Nnamdi Kanu, was asked to open his defense, but he claimed that there is no charge against him, hence there is no need for him to enter his defense. Raising some points from the motion filed in respect of a no case against him, Kanu cited Section 36, subsection 12 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, where he said no one convicted where no charge preferred against him. He further said that the law upon which he's been tried is a repealed law. Prosecution counsel Adegboyega Awomolo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, contends that the court should take the motion filed as his final written address and proceed to give judgment, that he has replied to all the issues raised by the defendant. But Justice James Omotosho, who chronicled the trial from 2015, maintained that in the interest of justice, both parties have agreed for an accelerated hearing and therefore cannot entertain any preliminary issues at this stage, more so that he had ruled on the earlier no-case submission by the defendant. He went further to clarify Section 36, subsection 12 of the Constitution, which the defendant relies upon. He said the provision cited talks about conviction and the case has not gotten to the stage. He would consult with those who are conversant with criminal prosecutions. He again adjourned the matter till November 2025 for the prosecution to enter his defense. From the Federal High Court, Abuja, Austin Anyebe, Nta News.
The European Union, through its European Civil Protection and Humanitarian Aid Operations, is investing in upgrading learning spaces in conflict-affected communities in Yobe State. The initiative aims to address critical gaps in children's education in areas impacted by the activities of non-state actors. Nta Suleiman reports.
While it is a well-known fact that education is the most affected sector by the activities of non-state actors in Yobe State, in 2019 the state declared a state of emergency in basic and secondary education. And since then, significant investment has been made in the sector, where we have seen the state constructed mega and model schools, recruited teachers, trained and retrained existing teachers to ensure that the sector is once again vibrant. Looking at the huge demand of the sector, the state at the time made a clarion call for local, national and international non-profit making organizations in order to key into the agenda by complementing its efforts. So that is why we've seen at many times United Nations agencies with special interest in education intervening in that regard. And the latest is the EU-supported project ECHO, renovating classrooms in Katarko. And Katarko is one of the communities that was severely affected by the activities of non-state actors. So this intervention by ECHO aims at providing a conducive learning space for pupils as well as the teachers. All this is to ensure that education is accessible to all school-age going children in the state.
Nta Suleiman there, telling us more about the European Union's projects in the affected areas there in Yobe State. All right, we'll now go to the House, the Senate, where a 12-member ad hoc committee has been constituted by the Senate with a mandate to conduct a holistic investigation into the state of rail lines in Nigeria. The ad hoc committee, chaired by Senator Adams Oshomole, is tasked to find out how much was borrowed for and expended on the rail projects. The decision was in response to a motion from Senator Ede Dafinone, who referenced the recent train derailments of the Jewu-Itakpe standard gauge line last Saturday. Senate expressed concern that
the implementation, the uses, and the reason why we're having all the teething problems, why other countries are enjoying their rail services. They will, at the same time, also posit solution.
Meanwhile, Senate seeks understanding of contractors as it promises to fast-track approval of federal government's 1.1 trillion naira latest domestic loan request to settle outstanding payments. The House of Representatives has given the executive arm of government. This followed a motion of urgent national importance moved by Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda and adopted unanimously through a voice vote. The House then went ahead to suspend plenary for 7 days until the local contractors who disrupted vehicular movements into the National Assembly are paid.
The President instructed that the ministers should immediately effect payment of local contractors and execution of the budgets. Said instruction was not implemented several weeks thereafter. The House further notes that the non-payment of local contractors and increased poverty in our country. Consequently, the House is urged to resolve that the Minister of Finance, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, and Accountant General of the country be given 7 days to make the aforesaid payments of all outstanding bills to local contractors for 2024 and implement the 2025 budget.
This House should adjourn for 1 week. Sitting of plenary should adjourn for 1 week. Issue of non-payment and implementation of 2024-2025 budget. Then we will continue sitting, Mr. Speaker.
The contractors promised that during this 1 week they will continue to demonstrate, make this place inconducive for us and inaccessible for us. So we won't be fighting with them at the gate to come in. So it's sensible for us to keep away and give the government, the executive, the opportunity to do the needful. I agree very much with the motion and I second it.
Leader, move that we adopt our vote and proceeding.
The leadership of the House commended the President for previously directing immediate payments of local contractors, but pointed out a delay in effecting all the payments, which it promised to iron out with the executive. All right, Rivers State government has mandated commercial vehicles in the state to maintain color code of navy blue and white. This is for easy identification, distinct from private ones, and to promote orderliness and passenger security. With the increasing menace of kidnapping, one-chance robbers, and other transport-related activities, stakeholders call for full enforcement of the policy to enhance passenger safety. Robinson Daritede reports.
From the blue-white-blue color scheme, authorities also have in place a numbering system for commercial vehicles. These are coded according to specified routes to further enhance traceability and safety of passengers. However, despite repeated pronouncements, enforcement of this policy has remained weak, leaving many residents concerned about the porous safety net for tracing suspected criminals or goods forgotten by passengers in such vehicles.
The one chance and others, all those ones, if they paint the colors, if they paint those colors, they have a physical, those triangles, something, they'll put it in top of the bus. That bus, there's a number on top of the bus, there's the number. See whether there's one chance they kidnap anything or they collect anything from any buses. Now this motto, they will look to
all the vehicles that is running in the state must have one color and have their union, so that they can trace whatever issue that comes up with the passengers.
While some sections of the public agree that full compliance will help curb crimes, others insist that the state needs a stronger and more efficient security network rather than another round of.
All right, let's rejoin Robinson Daritede in Port Harcourt to tell us more on the color coding and why now. Robinson, you are on.
Yes, Rivers State, as we all know, is a metropolitan city, particularly Port Harcourt, where there are a lot of taxis and commercial vehicles, and this has also increased the number of criminal activities, especially the ones that are related to transport system. The major one that has given public concern is the one that is described as public one chance. These are vehicle owners or transporters who take advantage of passengers. Sometimes they also go with POS machines and ensure that they rob passenger availables. This is why people are out that should implement the painting of public vehicles and also giving them code numbers so that they can easily trace the criminal activity. A staff of NTA sometimes ago, this also fell a victim of this. Victoria Osai, who was traveling to Lagos, and on her way from NTA gate to the park, she was robbed by this criminal. There is a bus called mini bus that they mostly use now. What they do is that when they carry you on the way, they will rob you of your valuables. So the government needs to quickly implement this policy so that those who are involved in these criminal activities could be traced. It's a very serious issue, and unfortunately, there are no commissioners on ground now. Our effort to speak with the commissioner proved abortive because the permanent secretary could not speak to us. But this is a major task before the incoming Commissioner of Transportation, that all the vehicles in the state, particularly the public vehicles, must be painted with the blue, white, blue color, and also they must be given a number code, so that they can easily be traced.
All right, Ted Robinson there in our Port Harcourt. Thank you so much for reminding government on that. And now the federal government is promising support to the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives towards hosting the Commonwealth Nurses and Midwives Federation Conference coming up in 2026. Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, made a commitment when he received executives of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives in the State House. President of the association, Haruna Maman, led other executives on the courtesy visit to seek support for the upcoming events the countries is slated to hold in April 2026.
It is gladdening to inform you, Your Excellencies, that Nigeria, being the most blessed country in the world, is the first African nation that will contest and win this important event. This great feat is not unconnected to the renewed hope agenda of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The Chief of Staff to the President promised government support where necessary, adding that a successful hosting of the global event would be a pride for the country.
Priority areas of this government. I cannot begin to reel out the very many accomplishments of this government in the health sector, many of which you yourself are aware, including the revitalization of health centers, our primary healthcare centers, and so many other areas where this government prioritized in the health. We'll be more than happy, again, like I said, it is worth repeating, to play a role. It is to be our pride that you showcase what we're doing and what we are still going to do when your colleagues come over.
And Larry Do is our guide.
And welcome to Ibadan. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, says the federal government has taken additional steps to strengthen Nigeria's power sector by supporting locally manufacturers of solar panel production. He stated this at the Bayo Adelabu Foundation 2025 Mega Empowerment and Economic Relief Program in Oyo State. Wasiu Rauf has details.
The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, noted that the initiative to support solar panel manufacturers in Nigeria is to boost the nation's total power generation capacity by nearly 80%. The minister, who commended President Bola Tinubu for his ongoing reforms across all sectors, acknowledged the fact that the changes may bring temporary hardship, but the positive impact evident through improving economic indicators. The minister, who presented checks to union leaders, noted that this is in appreciation of God's grace in his life. He extended business support grants to traders, artisans and farmers aimed at improving their livelihood and easing economic pressure. Adelabu said his goal is to have the people for their total support in return.
We owe our people the responsibility to lessen the pressure of economic hardship on them.
Beneficiaries expressed gesture, describing it as timely and impactful, saying it would go a long way in their livelihoods.
This gesture is one of the gestures we are expecting at this time of the ending of the year. So it will empower our farmers at least to move forward for the rest of this year.
Total government areas of Oyo State received grants amounting to 100 million naira.
Television broadcasting is not just information sharing, but a legacy that spans beyond active service. These resonated at the Western Nigeria Television WNTV Alumni Foundation as the TV pioneers came together for the grand finale of the 2025 annual reunion of the organization held within the premises of Nta Ibadan. The event brought together veterans of Africa's first television station. Kennedy Omolosho brings us details.
Established October 1959, Western Nigerian WNTV has come a long way, but worthy of note is the quality of manpower that has kept the dreams of the forefathers afloat. The atmosphere at the Nigerian Television Authority, Nta Ibadan, during the celebration of the alumni of the Western Nigerian broadcasters who legacies in Nigerian broadcasting, urging contemporary broadcasters to emulate the professionalism that defined WNTV's early years. Speakers highlighted television's vital role in education, information, and cultural preservation.
So we like to go back memory lane and you see when Arelu and Co. and people, the road will be very.
In those days, mindset is to do the job professionally. The mindset is to ensure programs that run on air are attractive to the audience.
We had everything we needed that time to work with.
It's an historical edifice that should not be allowed to glide like that.
Awards of recognition were presented to distinguished members, including Bale of Ekotedo, Taye Ayoride, for outstanding contributions to the broadcasting. The event was filled with music, dance, and moments of reminiscence as members reconnected and renewed their commitment to upholding the proud legacies of WNTV, which remains the foundation of modern television broadcasting in Nigeria. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
Those are the trend reports from Ibadan at this hour. Nationwide continues with Ogot Chukwuka in Abuja studios. After this break, please stay.
Across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, the land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
We swear in God, we dug it deeper, we met solution. Yeah, ethnicity is unique, we have more nation. We are Nigeria, strengthening in unity. We know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
Experts deliberate on Nigeria's exit from the Financial Action Task Force, impact on global image and economy, believed to be a huge win for Nigeria by President Tinubu's administration. And Tuesday Live comes up to 4th November 2025 at 10:30 p.m. Tune in to know how this development will boost investor confidence, increase capital inflow, improve Nigeria's global standing, and enhance financial stability. Nta Tuesday Live, educative and incisive. Don't miss it.
Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja. The city is moving. New voices, heavy drip, all heart. From the streets to the stage, this is the next Afrobeat star.
Yo! What are we here for? Let's Afrobeat star! Let's get nasty!
And the talents from all over showed up to own the room. But they're not alone.
Spiritual. Gospel.
All chasing a slot to face the judges. Puffy T, SARS, Andre Vibes, P Pride. Catch next Afrobeat star on
Nevertheless, we must come to terms with existential reputational threats to our national brand, in which external purveyors of untruths are mischaracterizing our nation as a destination for a so-called persecution of people based on their religious faith. This will weaken our unity. For the opportune time, I'm emphatic that there is no iota of truth in the communication that is out there, that there is a deliberate, calculated effort where one particular religion is targeted for extermination. I therefore urge us to use the instruments of public relations crafted in truths and facts to vehemently reject this single despicable narrative about Nigeria. it is incumbent on all of us to unite in a voice that will ensure that Nigeria is indeed a country that is anchored on the freedom for everyone to practice his or her religion. In any case, that's what our Constitution stipulates.
So staying tuned, and from Kaduna says about 100 widows in Kaduna State have received houses free of charge. The initiative, a collaborative effort between the federal government and the Family Homes Fund, decent condition. Mohammed reports.
It is a day of joy here, as collaborative effort between the Kaduna State government, the federal government, and Homes Funds provides about 100 housing units for widows.
The social housing program underscores the commitment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration in leveraging housing as a catalyst for social inclusion, economic empowerment, and the creation of resilient communities.
That these 100 homes will be delivered to the beneficiaries free of charge. And this is the vision of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The project fits perfectly in what we are doing at the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development through our renewed Hope Social Housing Estate Program, which focuses on providing decent, affordable homes for low-income, and vulnerable Nigerians across the country.
This is not just about buildings. It is about restoring dignity and creating opportunities for widows and vulnerable families across Kaduna State. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
And now let's get some stories in sports.
Team Nigeria is set to make a bold statement on the global stage as 27 African countries stormed Riyadh for the 2025 Islamic Solidarity Games. Nigeria joins 26 other African countries in the battle for medals across 20 sports from November 25. In another development, the Karate Federation of Nigeria, in collaboration with Platinum and Crit Tech Global Limited, has completed preparation for the first Dragon Shotokan National Karate Championship in Abuja, scheduled for November 27 to 29 at the Package B of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. The event is KFN Factor 6 ranking competition that will bring together top karatecas from all states competing for national recognition. With robust support from sponsors, the championship is set to offer attractive prizes for the winner.
The benefit of karate is numerous. It helps with boosting self-confidence, physical fitness, resilience.
In table tennis, team stunned other contenders to win the second edition of Senator Tokunbo Abiru Mixed Team Championship held at the Molade Okoya Thomas Hall of the Tessin Balogun team Oyo overall after the team Baesa 3-1 at the final.
It's an improved version, and we also hope for a better turnout in the next year. We are committed to this cause and will continue to champion the cause of sports.
In grassroots development, the edition of World Games is underway in Amuwodo in local